Vladimir Putin has lost yet another high-ranking military officer amid bitter fighting in Ukraine as his forces suffer a series of humiliating setbacks. Meleshenko, a tank battalion commander, is the 58th colonel to have been killed since Putin ordered his troops over the border on February 24. No further details have been given about how Meleshenko died, but his death highlights the appalling losses of high-ranking officers suffered by Russia. The war, which has now raged for more than 4 months, has also seen the slaying of at least 11 Russian generals, though the true death toll may be higher given the tendency of Russian authorities to conceal its death tolls. Analysts say Putin is unmoved by the scale of his losses, now believed to total well over 30,000, as he presses for a new land grab in the Donetsk region of Ukraine. Meleshenko's funeral was held today in Russia's Novosibirsk region after his body was returned. The father, who was awarded a posthumous Order of Courage by Russian commanders, was described as a hero. Meleshenko, who was killed ahead of his 44th birthday yesterday, had earlier served with Russian forces in Chechnya. Meleshenko died defending the residents of Donbas and defending the interests of our motherland, said Berdsk Mayor Yevgeny Shesternin. We express our deep condolences to his wife, Elena, children, relatives and friends of the hero. His death pushes the number of high-ranking Russian military officers killed in action close to 60, and comes just days after the announcement that Lieutenant Colonel Pavel Kislyakov, a paratrooper, had been killed in Ukraine. Kislyakov, 40, commander of a prestigious unit of Russian paratroopers, was buried on Thursday with full military honors in his hometown in Moscow region. Kislyakov served as head of the operational department of the headquarters of the 11th Separate Airborne Assault Brigade in Buryatia. District official Denis Simonov said at the funeral, he died in the line of military duty during the special operation in Ukraine. The father of two was described as a true hero and defender of the motherland. His death came after it emerged that Colonel Andrei Vasilyev, also a paratrooper commander, had been killed. Vasilyev was struck in one of Ukraine's first uses of a 43-mile range HIMARS missile sent to Ukraine by U.S. President Joe Biden. The colonel had previously been awarded the Russian Order of Courage and led the 137th Guards Airborne Regiment of the 106th Guards Airborne Division. Earlier in June, dramatic footage showed the moment Lieutenant Colonel Sergei Gondorov, 51, crashed in his helicopter after being hit with a Ukrainian missile. Gondorov was killed after his Mi-35 was struck near Vonovaka in the Donbas. His death followed the loss of two colonels announced on the same day in June: highly decorated Colonel Sergei Krasnikov, 56, who had volunteered to rejoin the forces to go to war, and Colonel Sergei Pustnov, in his 40s. In May, Russia admitted that Lieutenant Colonel Denis Sukhanov, 41, and Colonel Denis Kozlov, 40, died while fighting in Ukraine. Kozlov was the second commander of the 12th Separate Guards Engineers to die in the conflict, after being sent to Ukraine to replace Colonel Sergei Poroknya, 45, who was killed on March 14. His death was confirmed in May by a picture on his grave in Volgograd, southwestern Russia. Blanov was a married father of 3. A family friend said, "For us it is just a shock. He served in a motorized rifle unit." Earlier in May, news emerged of Putin's 39th killed Colonel Faisal Baikayev, 36. The lieutenant colonel was a high-flying elite soldier reportedly killed on a secret intelligence mission. The father of 3 was portrayed as a hero who was killed near Kharkiv with a machine gun in his hands covering his subordinates, according to reports in Russia. Baikayev was one of Russia's youngest colonels, second in command of his regiment, and his death amounted to a heavy, irreparable loss, said the report. Baikayev's death came a day after the disclosure of the death of Lieutenant Colonel Fyodor Solovyov, 44, in the Donbas. Solovyov was commander of the Howitzer Self-Propelled Artillery Regiment of the 127th Motorized Rifle Division in Putin's army. He was buried with full military honors and a triple volley of guns in Chanaki village, Penza region. Four days earlier, Lieutenant Colonel Edward Dmitriev, 44, a tank commander, was reported to have been killed.